All right, welcome back to the closing of season 2 of the Word of Mouth podcast, episode 20. This episode is dedicated to my younger brother Mike. Shout out to him and his life lesson that he teaches his kids. He calls it, it's all in your prep, right? It's all in how you prepare, what you do the day, night before, hour before the event, whatever it is. If you get everything ready, then you're going to be successful. It's the same life lesson that we learn growing up. We learn that from our parents, right? I use different words. I explain it. I say pain or preparation. You're either going to prepare and be ready so that you don't experience pain, or you're not going to prepare and then you're probably going to experience some sort of pain, right? You don't make your lunch, you're going to be hungry, right? Or you're going to have to spend extra money to go to Wawa or whatever to buy food. That's the pain, right? And it can be all kinds of ways. But if you prepare in life, if you do the basic life disciplines, and you lead with being on time, looking presentable, having a book and a pen, you work that backwards. Okay, to be on time, I need to go to bed at this time. I need to have dinner done by this time, right? You can make a schedule for your life so that your life is planned out in a way that you're successful, right? That is the preparing. That's the prep, right? Prepare your schedule first, and then prepare your stuff for whatever it is you got to do. If you need to have body armor, helmet, this, that, and the other, then get all that stuff out the night before and make sure it's good to go. In case you sleep late, you grab it and you go. But it manifests in your life in more positive ways if you prepare, because then you're nicer to people, because you're not in a hurry. You're not cutting people off in traffic lights because you're 5 minutes behind. You have time to drive slow. You have time to let the ducks with the mother duck with the baby ducks go by, right? You got time to stop your car and get out and help an old lady across the street or put bag. You can be kind. And if you do that, then it trickles down to other people because they want to be kind. Now, somebody did something really nice for them, and they're inclined to be nice to the next person. And it's the upside down Ponzi scheme. There's no reward other than you just did the right thing. And I think that the communities and the world it's so negative these days, and people are they don't lead with humanity anymore, right? So I think if you lead with humanity in your decision making process, and you let what would a good human do be the pinnacle of whatever your decision making process is, and then if you have policy to contend with, you filter with that. But if you always think what would a good person do in this situation, you let that be the filter for your thoughts, then everything will just trickle down positive from there, right? And I think if you prepare, like Mike says, it's all in your prep, then you're inclined to be nicer because you're not in a rush, you're not in a hurry, And so really it's all in your prep is a way to change the world, because if everybody dissects their life and says, how could I be better the next day? Okay, if I feel like I'm always rushed in the morning, well, okay, why don't you stop and think about why are you always rushed in the morning, and how can you backwards plan that to be more successful, whether that's getting up 30 minutes earlier, whether that's going to bed earlier, that's getting all your stuff together the night before so you don't have to do it in the morning. Like there's a lot of things that you're probably not doing that you could start doing that would make your day less stressful, right? So start by thinking of what are the things in your life and the parts of your day that are stressful, and how can I prepare so that they're not as stressful. And things like traffic are out of your control, but there's a lot of things that are in your control in your day, in your own self-created chaos, that if you really took time and you didn't blame others or look for other excuses, and you just looked inward and said, what am I frustrated about in the morning? What am I frustrated about here or there? And you back planned it, you could probably reduce a lot of that stress if you do what Mike says. It's all in your prep, right? I got to give another shout out to Stacey Webb down in Waco. I guess I come from a place where people just get stuff done. There must be something in the Waco water. I know Stacey be pumping his fist in the air if he's listening to this, because people where I come from, they just get stuff done, right? They're people from Waco, Texas. They just have it in them, right? They're all go-getters and they're winners. And I think Mike captured it best with it's all in your prep. And the shout out to him and everybody down there at his shop, because they play the show all the time. They're probably the only fans I have, but whatever, right? It'll grow because it's a good message. And so Closing out season 2, Beautiful Moments, is a call out to everybody to take a look at your own life. Take a look at each part of your day, and is it stressful, and what events, and then maybe look at how you can do better, right? For me, I'll give you some examples in Lyft. I was a Lyft passenger for probably 10 plus years before I ever drove for Lyft. And one of the early on, and this is also a shout out to my buddy Steve, because, I have a good memory, right? And even though Steve and I had just met each other, we were riding around in his car, and he was telling me how he drives for Lyft in his free time sometime. And that he's like, yeah, the money's good, but really what I love about it is the networking and all the stuff you learn about the city you live in, because Lyft will take me to parts of the city I've never been to before, and I learn about all these cool little, there's a jazz bar over here, and there's a steakhouse over here, and the people tell me I learn so much, and I meet people, and it's a good way to expand your network. And the way he does it, Steve is just like me. He's very charismatic. He's a Texas boy, so it's natural to him. He's like, yeah, I have chargers, so I try to put on music that I think they'll like. So if you see a bunch of teenage girls coming up, throw on some Taylor Swift. You can't go wrong, right? So he tries to assess the music. But the thing is, he's extending trust deposits from the moment they approach his car, because they come up and they open the door. He has the light on for them. So if you're a Lyft or Uber driver and you don't do these things, then you need to start doing these things, because your ratings will go through the roof. And if you don't believe me, I got the receipts to prove it. I have nothing but 5-star ratings. I get great tips because I do these little things, and I started learning it from Steve over 12 years ago when he had originally told me this. So he has the phone chargers, he does the music, he'll have like a little thing with like some mints and candy and stuff, like blow pops, Tootsie Pops, things that people like. And I was like, yeah, that's genius, right? Because if somebody did that for me, I would leave them a bomb tip, right? Like, now put yourself in the shoes. Like, you walk up to a Lyft, it's a clean car. You open the door, the lights are on. Like, guys, can I get you something to drink? A little cooler in the front. Hey, I keep some like water. Kids love the Red Bulls. I'm like, I got water, Red Bull, and Capri Sun. Sometimes I have Sprite. And I'm like, yeah, there's a phone charger down here. There's a little gift basket for the ladies. I got the most popular one is the Dove lotions, and just get the mask from Dollar Tree. So if you invest the time to do those little things for people, my car has Wi-Fi too. So I'm like, if you need the Wi-Fi, here's a password. And people are just blown away. They're like, thank you so much. Like, oh my God, no, I don't want a water, but thank you so much for asking, right? That's what it is, right? Just be nice. Like, I would like all of those things if I got in a car. So now I do all of those things, right? They get in the car and I do everything I just said. And they're always like, man, thank you so much. Some people will take, a lotion or a drink or a Red Bull. And some of the kids will connect to the Wi-Fi because their phone don't work unless they're on Wi-Fi. But, it's just nice gestures. I have a lot of, like older women will say, I didn't take anything from your basket, but thank you for offering. 2 women told me that on the same night. Thank you. It's the fact that you offered. You made my night by being so kind, right? So now they get out and they are going to go, they're inclined because someone did something nice for them to do something nice for somebody else. So the close of season 2, Beautiful Moments, is about spreading kindness. And shout out to Steve and shout out to Mike, because it's the little things, Steve, right? Like you cued me in on that, those little things. And if you can do those little things, right? If you listen to Mike and you do the prep, right? Go out the day before, buy stuff, make a nice little basket, clean your car, wipe it down, right? If you prepare, whether it's preparing for a speech, preparing for a test, preparing for your work day, if you prepare, you will experience less pain, right? You'll stop being in such a hurry. You'll stop being late if that's a chronic problem. You'll stop showing up always in a panic because you don't have enough time. You'll show up calmly, and then because of that, you're inclined to be nice to the people around you, and then they're inclined to be nice to the people around them. So season 2 is out for everybody who likes the show that wants to continue listening. The next season is going to be all military transition, but there is going to be a lot of like mental health, ways to slow down, things that I do and that I have learned from others, and things that others do, how to prepare your VA claim, all those little tricks about getting out of the military. It doesn't matter if you're getting out less than 20 or more than 20. It's different, but the information is all going to be valuable, and that's by popular demand. People can't wait to hear that. So we're going to take a shift do that for a season, then we'll pick the show back up wherever the show takes me. So love you, Mike. Love you, Steve. Stacey Webb, shout out to all you guys. So have a good one. Season 2 out.